Okay, so today I'm going to be unboxing my Kickstarter edition of Seven Souls by Inside Up Games, formerly known as Rise of the Elder Gods. I believe the name change was due to similarities with other Lovecraftian gods. Anyone who's seen any of my previous unboxings will know full well why I backed this. It's Lovecraftian. I have a major soft spot for anything Lovecraftian with that sort of theme. So, straight away on the back, incredibly busy. Lots and lots and lots of stuff, and lots of languages as well, actually, I've just noticed. In Seven Souls, you will become the otherworldly creatures from the world of H.P. Lovecraft, insatiable ethereal beings. As insatiable ethereal beings, you will compete for world dominance, fight for control of the Seven Souls and manipulate them for your own game. Act quickly to gather supplies, earn a blessing, control the sacrificial altar, and then reveal your true form. You are evil and your time has come. It's not the sort of Lovecraftian game I'm used to. You are playing as the Elder Gods and you are trying to corrupt humanity. You have woken from your slumber and now you are a bit hungry, fancying a couple of souls, going to do what you can to corrupt investigators and gather as many as you can. And I believe that this game is played on a board split into 3. Oh, can you see that shine on that 7? Don't know if you can. Oh yeah, there you go. Very nice. The box feels very good. And because this is token based, I'm assuming there's going to be a ton of rules. Punch boards is what I was going for more. So let's kick off with the rule overview, or the rule aperçu, or other things. Okay, so we've only got 2 rule books, one in, my French isn't great, so I'm going to assume it's French, and one in English. Let's have a quick flick through this. So you've got your overview, you've got your symbols for everything, you've got card examples. Your objective, to have the most souls or victory points at the end of the game. Souls are collected in a variety of ways. Achieving your revelation, collecting soul tokens, or by corrupting investigators, or by earning a blesser, or by controlling an altar. And you've got an index here, so everything should be quite quick reference. What I like how vibrant it is. Nice big example right in the centre, and there's the 3 parts I was talking about. You've got the 3 areas to corrupt. Nice and easy to see setup. I know this is for 6 players and it can be played with 1 player as well. And everybody has a unique, not a unique, a deck specific to them. I believe the symbols on the back dictate which deck you'll use. I don't think there's much difference in what you've got. So there's no variable player powers, as far as I'm aware. So it's simultaneously played. Some examples there, which is always good. I do like it when you get an example to avoid confusion. I hate the "but can you" sort of questions and having to refer to Board Game Geek. Nothing wrong with that, of course, but you know, it's much easier to just do it while at the table. Character activations, character actions explained. I love the artwork. It just looks so almost pop arty, but with that sinister element of knowing it's Lovecraft. The symbols are really nice and easy to identify as well. They're not similar. They're not too similar, actually, to be fair. I was almost going to say they are. And the colours are unique to each symbol as well, so that makes things a lot easier. So investigators can attack back, so it's not a case of you are just going to roll over and attack all the souls. They are going to kick off. Altars, blessings, revelations, endgame, and then you've got the examples and explanations of each one as well. Very cool. And there's the round order reminder, so that's your quick prompt and a solo mode. Solo mode looks quite short. I imagine it's just a change of certain things in the game for setup. I'm not going to go through the French one, my apologies. I don't speak French. And here are the Summit Series competitive cooperative solo. It's just their little ad, I assume, trying to sell games to you, which ain't bad, you know. I'll have a flick through that here later. And then we have a punch board, woohoo, which punches really nicely, okay. It always seems to happen on camera. Nice little symbol. Relatively thick as well, actually. I did have a quick flick through the Kickstarter campaign before I unboxed this to make sure I was a little bit more aware, unlike usual. And I know this was one of the big things. They upgraded the stock quality of the punch boards. Oh, I like the different shapes as well. Oh, cool. That makes life a lot easier as well. That makes everything a bit easier, because even then if you've got some sort of visual impairment, you can quite easily see, well, not easily see, but you'll be able to feel the, it's a hexagon against a circle. Or if you're playing in the dark for any reason, you know, it takes all sorts, I guess. And here is the board. And a beautiful insert. Look at that. Whoa! I'm a fan of a good insert. And that is, it's nothing fancy, but but it does what it needs to do. Let's see if I can get everything in there. Board's not huge, but it has got a nice gloss. I don't know if it's gloss effects, I don't know what it's called, but it's got effects on some of the elements within, which I think is a very nice touch. And you've got your prompts around the board as well for where things will go. This is where the investigators go. These are scopes across because they'll have different values within, because they're different. It means that you'll want to focus on different things at different times. I don't remember what those are. I don't remember what those are. And I don't remember what the bottom ones are. But, you know, that's the part of it being half blind. And this is, as always, just a first impressions of what is under the lid. So let's see if I can't crack this open. There are very few things on Kickstarter that I take a look at twice. I'm either very impulsive or I will wait to the very last second. I don't look at things more than once. But Lovecraft is the exception of that. I will keep going back to it again and again and again, looking at the stuff, investigating it, trying to figure out what it's going to be all about, whether it's going to be for me, and then inevitably backing it. And I am biased because I do like the theme of Lovecraft, but there are very, very few games of that theme that I have thought, this isn't for me. Quite often it's a case of, if it's Lovecraft, I'm going to fall in love with it. But that's my own personal preference. Okay, let's have a look at the backs of these. These are all identical, which means these are the backs that I'm showing you, which isn't helpful. I assume this was the back just because of the stunning artwork. Cthulhu, 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 Cthulhu. These are all identical. That's suspicious. Oh, okay. Eyeball, 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 eyeball. I'm feeling there might be a theme here. I might have a quick flick in that component book because that is making me a little bit uneasy. No, it shouldn't. That's a very strange thing though. That's very strange. How often do you get, you know, a good 40 copies of the exact same card? Doubt it's a production error. Really doubt it. More eyeballs with the old diamond on the back, which I have seen on the board. I've seen the eyeball on the back, to be fair. And then we've got, oh, okay, now we've got some variation. So I assume maybe the Cthulhu card is just the stock base one that'll go into the actual communal deck of things that occur. So you got your cultist with your 2 eyeball symbol. You got some cards that go sideways. These are going to go with altars because they look quite altar-esque. Altar-esque? Is that a word? Got some green goop flowing over Cthulhu symbol, blue goop, yellow goop, purple goop, red goop, pink goop. You've got all the goops going on. And then we have got some corruption cards, I believe. I don't believe these are the investigators. These are the ones that are played by players. So when I look on the back, these are going to have the different symbols. Yeah, different symbols for the different players. So that is one player deck. That is a second player's deck, and they will be played at the same time. Those two will never get mixed in. This is player 1, this is player 2. Which means that in the next one we should have, yeah, Tentacle Boy for player 3. I wonder what the symbolisms come from. I mean, I get the eyeball, it's very Lovecraftian, maybe a little bit Illuminati, if I'm allowed to say that on the internet. And I get the tentacle. But the stick, why a stick? Yellow deck, skull deck, squiggle deck. Is that all 6? Have I miscounted, or is that all 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll have a look in a second. And more cards that are a little bit less on the. Ooh, look at him. Ooh, what's he about? Not a nice looking man, is it? Actually, you know what? I like the images on here. I like the fact it's always got a dark, sinister element to it. Let's skip through these. I think those are the investigators. And then you've got the actual horrors themselves. But I like the fact they're in, not quite real life scenarios, but they're there in some sort of scenario that we might see depict as a regular scene. So you've always got your classic Cthulhu at the beach. But then you've got This chap somewhere, he's a bad example. This is the one I was going for. So that's more in a mountainous sign. He's obviously just rocked up. You've got the penguins at the bottom, quite clearly summoning some sort of elder being, a book, and then another elder being being summoned over some grey stuff. Always good. Alright, I'm actually going to talk about the components now. Sorry, I've got completely sidetracked. Card quality is really nice, really clear. There's the other cards right at the bottom of that deck. That's where the 6th one is, and of course it's a severed hand. What else would it be? Then we've got some book symbols, some key symbols. So these are going to be the investigator decks that are going to be on the board, because I've got book, key, crucifix, key, book, crucifix, book. Yeah, there's 3 different variations. That's the 3 locations on the board. Still thrown by the fact that we've got 4,000 symbols of Cthulhu with just a single Cthulhu element on. I'm going to have a quick flick through the rulebook after I finish with this, but as far as I can tell, all card driven, running through the actual basis of collecting tokens off of the board as you complete things, with the game ending once you have removed so many piles off of the board. I couldn't hazard a guess. I didn't look too in depth into this. As always, just half blind. I like the insert. I like the fact the insert holds the cards in the sense that they will they better just, yeah, they do just. They just fit in. And they've actually got, I don't know if you can see it there, a little bit of a lip to stop them from popping back out. So you actually have to put them in at a little bit of an angle. And then I should be able to... they fall out. Okay, bad example. I'll do it with these ones. Let's just see if it works. Let's just play the game. Let's see if this works. Let's put all the player decks together. Put these in. Put these in. And I should be able to tilt those forwards, and yeah, there we go. See, they don't all fall out. It is a case of you could have this stood up, but you couldn't have it stood up this way because they're immediately going to slide out. This is a nice attention to detail. It's a nice thought, and the fact that it's there shows that it's been designed by someone who's obviously seen this problem and thought, actually, you know what, you can't always stand up board games with cards in because you'll open it up and it'll be 600,000 card pickup. It's a nice attention to detail. I'm excited to get this to the table. I need to go through those rules and understand why I've got 4,000 Cthulhu cards. But, as always, I am a sucker for Lovecraft. The quality components, though, is what you'd expect from any card game. The cards are not going to sever as you're picking them up. They're not going to bend. They are clear in their symbolisms. You can see the blue. You can see the numbering against it. And you can clearly see, actually, I've just noticed, I'm assuming player count. Any players, 1 to 6, 2 to 6, 4 to 6, 5 to 6. These are going to be, these are the alters. These are just how many you would put out. So if you're playing big boy game, 6 players, all of them. You've got 4 players, boom. You've got 2 players, boom. You've got 1 player, well, you know, you've got to collect it somehow, but that's how you get it. Awesome. Right, thank you very much for listening to my ramblings. I will catch you next time.